First, I'm going to go into one person's question, and then Deb, if you have any questions that are lingering or that you think would benefit the group and that you're comfortable sharing, feel free to ask on this call. Otherwise, we can have a little one-on-one between you and I. So first, I'm going to go into one person's question that they submitted. I thought it would be great for everybody. So their question, so basically their schedule, they wake up super early, like 4:30 a.m., work very physically demanding job, on their feet, coaching, and then they don't get home until 8:30 at night. So this person's question was like, what should I do in terms of nutrition? Like, I'm not getting home till 8:30, but I'm waking up super early. And this is definitely a common question. Like, is it bad to eat late at night? Like, what should I do? Am I gonna derail my progress if I eat too late? So first, I wanted to bust that myth. In terms of meal timing, that's definitely something that I think the fitness and the health industry has, I don't know what their deal with that is, but meal timing in terms of morning, evening, fasting in the morning, not eating late at night, doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. The more important thing is the overall calories and macronutrients that you're consuming for the day. So it's less about when you're eating and more about how much. And in order to lose weight, the one thing that is most important is to be in a caloric deficit. So I'm going to explain what that means. No fancy terminology without the explanation. So a caloric deficit, put very simply, is basically that you are burning more calories than you're consuming. So that being said, if you wanted to lose weight, you could do so without exercise if you were just to eat less than what you were, if you were to eat less than what you're burning for the day. However, the reason we want to exercise, of course, it burns more calories, so it's easier to get into that deficit. That being said, what do we do if we need to eat late at night? I would say this also depends on each individual. So some people totally fine eating at night. They can eat dinner, go to bed, and feel fine. If you have any stomach stuff going on, you might not want to have a full meal. So what I would recommend to do is I would have just a protein shake late at night. If you can have some sort of break around sometime between 3:30 and 5:30 in the evening, that would be when I would have your dinner. I would bring your dinner to work and have an earlier dinner 4 or 5 o'clock if that's a break between coaching. Otherwise, rather than having the shake when you get home, I would make sure that your dinner is already ready. Don't start cooking at 8:30. Have your meal already prepped so you can just throw it in either a frying pan or throw it in the oven. Or if you need to, throw it in the microwave so that you're eating pretty much at 8:35 or 8:40, not having to cook a meal at 8:30, not eating it till 9:30, and then having to go to bed. So my recommendation number one would be to have a protein shake if you're able to sneak in that earlier dinner, during the work hours. Or option two, make sure that your dinner is already prepared for when you're home so that you can eat it right away. And definitely don't worry about eating late at night as long as you haven't had already the bulk of your calories during the day. And then one last tip on that. So if you're eating late at night and you're not hungry at 4:30, wait a little bit to eat breakfast. Maybe have breakfast at 9, after you're done coaching the first group. So definitely tricky in terms of the timing. I feel that as a trainer, I was up early, working late, and when the heck do I eat? So if you have any other questions for that, anyone watching the recording or whoever asked the question, feel free to message me directly. And then, of course, lots of doggy therapy for the stress.
You do.
So Deb, do you have any questions? First of all, how was your workout? It looked like you did great over there.
Oh yeah, it was super fun. I had a lot of stress this week. Definitely feel a lot better in this moment.
Yeah. And yes, that's super necessary. Take care of yourself first thing to start the day.
And then I guess for me, I want to build the muscle. So as far as eating and not losing the weight, or it'll just happen, right? So build the muscle. Different eating,
Very good question. So love that question. Thank you for asking it. So the most important thing with building muscle is your protein consumption. So most people are not consuming enough protein. So that is actually relatively important in terms of timing. So right after this workout, you're either going to want to have some fresh protein, like some eggs. Usually within 30 minutes is a good window. If you miss the 30-minute window, like the world isn't going to end, but ideally within 30 minutes, consume some sort of protein, whether that be fresh protein, eggs, because it's morning for breakfast, or if you had yourself a shake, definitely blend up like some fruit, maybe some oats, and some protein powder in there. I can also provide some protein powder recommendations because the brand is definitely important in terms of the ingredients. So up your protein intake for sure. And then if you were to be someone who, I'll get a little more into detail, if you were to be someone who is measuring your food and things like that, which I don't think is entirely necessary, but as a rule of thumb, you want to be consuming about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So in terms of what that looks like per meal, about 30 grams or about the size of like your palm is like a good measure there. And I'll actually post a little infographic in the group so that people can get a sense of what that looks like how much protein should I have? Is it this much? Is this much? I like to use the guidelines of your body because you can take a simple look at it, look at your plate, look at your hand. Is that about the same size? I'm probably doing good. So yes, number 1 would be consuming more protein, and then making sure to space that throughout the day. So we want to be having our protein every like 3 to 4 hours or so, spaced throughout the day. Your body can only absorb so much at once. So I will definitely send you that info and a list of protein foods to eat as well. So great question there. And that definitely will help expedite the muscle building. And then one final comment on that, I believe I might have posted a post on this earlier this week, or it'll be coming up, but your muscle actually, so the reason that we want to focus on strength training, resistance training, building our muscle is that the more muscle we have, the more calories that we burn. So I like to think of muscle as like a calorie burning furnace. So the more muscular you are, those muscles is burning off the fat. So it kind of is like a self-reinforcing effect, which is why I opt for that strength training as kind of our primary base of our training here. So super excellent there. All right, I think that'll just about do it. And thank you guys both for asking those questions because for me, I don't know what the biggest challenge is or what questions you're wondering. So the more questions you ask, it definitely helps you. And I'm sure everyone else on the group was like, wow, I had that question too. I didn't even think of it. So thank you for being a part of the tribe here and helping us out. And everyone else on the replay, hope you enjoy from beautiful New England here. And I'll catch you guys next week. All right, thank you. I'll see you there. And Deb, I'll text you because I'm still away Monday, but we will schedule for next week as well. Perfect. All right, thank you. See you then.